Good morning, natural gas. It's Friday, March 27th, 2026. I'm Tim Beggins, president of Elk Trading Company, and today is the expiration of the April contract. And currently we're trading at 3.076, up 7.7 cents or 2.57%. As you can see, the RSI is still pointing upward. We've got the 48 period exponential moving average coming in at 3.101. So perhaps that's our target for today. But let's see, it is the last day and we don't have much open interest. We're going to see that in just a second. How about storage? Well, storage yesterday came out at minus 54 BCF. That compared to plus 33 for last year, minus 21 for the 5-year average. So as you can see, we're still above last year. We're still slightly above the 5-year average. So that's it. It's probably the last withdrawal of the winter season. So we start the injection season now, and this is our base. So we're starting off at 1.8 TCF and change. So let's take a look at what else is going on for the April contract today. Again, it's expiration. We've only got 5,083 open interest left in the contract for today on the CME. That's the NYMEX, which means every trade is going to move this market around a lot. So not much open interest means the price swings are going to be pretty violent today. So let's take a look at what else is pushing pressure on the market in the longer term. It's renewables here in ERCOT. And as you can see right now, we're currently expected to be over 46,000 megawatts into the system this afternoon. And our forecast for today was lowered by 3,000 megawatts here in ERCOT. So it means natural gas is still really not gaining any market share against renewables. Continues to be strong wind. Yesterday, wind died off a little bit, gave a little boost to natural gas at the end. Look what else is happening in the international markets. And here's Las Rafan at Qatar. And look who's at the dock. We've got 2 LNG tankers at the dock. And that means that potentially there might be some loadings here, which is an interesting indication because the Strait of Hormuz is still, for the most part, blocked off. We've got congestion out here. We've got congestion outside of Dubai, and we've got congestion outside of Oman. But we do see some bulk carriers, LPG carriers as well, and some livestock carriers pushing through the Strait of Hormuz. So very interesting developments. It's the weekend, so let's see what Trump does. Maybe we do have a peace agreement this weekend. We'll see. And how about the hourly chart for natural gas? This is the April. And as you can see, we're still trading at 3.076. We're above the daily pivot, which came in at 298.10. We're all the way up to the second resistance level, which came in at 3.088. And we've got further resistance at 315. The RSI is turned sideways, but it is tilting lower at this time. So perhaps we start to oscillate here between 308.80 and our first resistance, which came in at 3.043. How about the front-to-back spreads? Well, we got a little bit of profit taking here in the Jan versus the May spread here. That's going to be the injection spread. The RSI is tilting lower right now. We're currently down 4.3 cents here to 2.146. So let's see if this is going to push back down toward about $1.80. Let's take a look at the Novi through March strip here. This is the winter injection strip, and this is actually moving in the opposite direction. It's actually up on the day, up 4 cents, 4.9 cents to 4.387. So RSI here is trying to turn upward. So we may see a swing higher first. And if we do get a peace agreement over the weekend or in the next week, we'll see this spread start to, the strip start to move lower. How about the weather? Well, again, looking through the forecast here, this is the temperatures for the United States. There's some cooler temperatures across the Great Lakes into New England, but that heat dome starts to build out west, and as you can see, pushes all the way up into the Dakotas and up the East Coast as well. It pushes further up as we get through the forecast period into April 1st. Finally, some warmer temperatures for the Northeast. And again, there's some bouts of cold that push it back out. And then we get some warmth again through Texas. And then it starts to moderate a little bit here as we get into the 5th of April. And then we start pushing out some warmer temperatures once again late in the forecast period toward the 7th in Texas. So let's turn to the heat risk. And as you can see, we do have some minor heat risk here across the southeast. Again, it's because it's dry. We'll talk about that drought in a minute. And also in the west, specifically the desert southwest, we've got some moderate heat risk here. And that continues to expand from Los Angeles all the way back to Phoenix. And then we start to see that heat. As you can follow that warmer temperature, we start seeing that minor heat risk pushing further and further toward the southeast. Then you could start to see some moderate risk here in the Valley of Texas. And how about Europe? Well, it's cooler temperatures here. Again, as we move through the end of the forecast period here, we see cooler temperatures across Italy, France, Germany, and Spain. As we move further and further into the forecast period, we see further cooler temperatures in the Eastern European states. And as you can see right here, most of that's focused in on places like Greece and Turkey, as well as Romania. And as you can see, that seems to be all the way through April the 9th. So cooler temperatures to start spring here for Europe. And as you know, European storage is currently sitting at 28.4%, and France and Germany just sitting above 22% full. So we begin the injection season in the US and in Europe. Europe's got to get aggressive here. How about Asia? Well, Asia is moderate here, as you can see through the forecast period in China and Japan and the Koreas, really just warmer temperatures. We do see some cooler temperatures as we get further and further closer to April the 5th. We start seeing cooler temperatures in Beijing. But that's about it. It moves over into the Koreas and likely into Japan. But for the most part, warmer temperatures, spring is on the way. How about the US? Well, we talked about this. This is the drought. And we've got not only severe drought across much of the country, but we've actually got exceptional drought in parts of Texas, Colorado, Arkansas, and of course, Florida and Georgia. So we've got to keep a careful eye on this because El Nino conditions will be dominant this next winter, which will give us wetter, cooler temperatures. We definitely need the rain, and we do have less hurricanes that are forecast at this time because of El Nino, but we really could use a few of them across the Gulf Coast of the United States just for the water alone. Let's take a look at the U.S. nuclear fleet. We're currently at 19.4 gigawatts that are offline, again, for maintenance and refueling. Looks like we're going to peak out pretty early here in the refueling cycle and get ready for summer because we are so dry and it is starting to get very warm. We're starting to see some records in ERCOT for March. It's pretty impressive. So let's take a look at the stocks. Well, it's a sea of green today. It's a beautiful day here. Vermilion, actually the best here at 4.9% up on the day, excuse me. CRK right behind it at 3.54%. And of course, our laggard right now, CNX only up 0.53%. Magnolia behind me up 1.35%. So again, today is expiration of the April natural gas contract. We're currently trading at 3.055, up 5.6 or 1.87%. Today is last day for trading. So if you're in an April contract, you got to get out. May will become spot on Monday. And remember, we've got weekend Trump risk here. So you never know if something will break out over the weekend. We either escalate or we finally get resolution. Either way, the markets are going to swing wildly next week. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Thanks for listening. We'll see you soon.